Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gaming the Meta. I am joined by my brother in arms, Alex Upgrade Booksell, and I am your host, Adam Bookie Booksell. As we've been raving and hollering and complaining and hooting, I should say, the Rogue has finally came out, and today that will be our focus of this discussion is the Rogue, and we're going to do a little tier list. But first, we are going to do. I have a lot of tabs open, so there might be some things missing.
Technical.
Yeah, technical issues. This might be the first one. First, we're gonna do our pride and joy skill diff. This week, though, we are only using the base class because as one of our complaints of the show, I'm just gonna fix this camera a bit, is that the base classes they don't really have a bang, boom, pow. Uh so today I'm going to be doing the rogue, of course. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing the best team right now,
I
it's
think we
because
all know why you're wearing that.
12 in a row, baby. But anyways, this is called Crescent Cutters. Ooh, and I finally fixed the black bar at the end, bottom. Throw two daggers in a crescent-shaped path at your target and perform a small leap backwards. Each dagger does X damage. The left blade applies bleed, while the right blade applies wound. I was playing an ARAM. I'll tell you where the skill came from. I was playing an ARAM. I should probably stop playing League altogether. But here I was playing an ARAM, and I was playing against Galio. And he has this thing that like he throws the wind,
Double win.
the double wind and clashes. So the skill would look like that. But Galio also has a little dash where he first moves backwards and then moves forwards. But so it would be like that. He goes, "Wacha," and moves backwards.
Oh yeah, just like whatcha.
Yeah. I as I was playing the rogue, as everybody else was, the beginning skills, we're gonna go through all the skills, and talk about the rogue class in general. But this beginning skills level like 1 through 5, aside from the legginess and the bugginess of them, they didn't
They're pretty
really
good.
but they didn't really like impress me. Maybe if there was like a full showcase on it, and we'll talk about the showcase later. But if there was a full class showcase like on it, like there was for every other class, I think it would have been a lot better. Uh, anything?
Oh yeah. No, this skill's really cool. I'm actually kind of liking the feel of the rogue right now. Playing it some more last night and just getting back in. And this skill would actually be kind of like it. It would feel this. It would feel like it would be the good match for it. That's for sure. I
Yeah,
do like it's the little bouncing dagger, which is kind of cool. I wouldn't mind having like a little jump back, which would be nice.
yeah, very an acrobat class. Anyways,
Yeah.
upgrade the bard. The show must go
Yes.
on. Oh,
Yeah.
break your instrument over your target. Parade over their injured body with a dance that gives buffs to your parties. And I
Yeah.
accidentally have augments, but it's not an augment because we're just going bases.
It's
See,
not
there's
a
always
no.
there's always something wrong with these powerpoints. Uh,
Every day we need an
so
editor.
yeah, we need an editor.
If you out there are an editor, give us a call.
Please, please give us a call.
Uh, no. So I was kind of watching the new class from Lost Ark over the week, seeing how that's doing it, and I remembered all the fun alts from Lost Ark there always is, and I think that's what the base class needs. Some kind
What's
of
the
like he
oh
needs a identity skill as well instead of just an identity resource.
well they have
And this is
they
what
bards have like you do the what is it,
you
a
do the
dance or what?
music,
Well, you
like
use the three red things. I forget what they're called.
yeah,
Sagas. You do the three
sagas.
sagas, and then you do
Well,
the
and then like the
three fires.
ranger has like the different types of bows,
Yeah,
and then the mage gets all the elements, right? I just figured to just kind of add on and give that little bit of a boost to the class, because I know a lot of people are bards, and who doesn't want an ultimate
Where you
with a
smash your
1 minute
weapon.
and you just smash it? I think it'd be great.
Uh,
I
what's
always
the
wanted to hit
new
someone with a book.
what's the new Lost Ark class?
It's the not the summoner, it's a specialist, but you turn into animals. Like it's like a
Oh,
yeah, like you turn into like creatures instead. It's kind of like the summoner a little bit, but it's instead you turn into the creatures.
oh, like a
So
druid
there's like a wolf
almost.
form. Yeah, it's like a druid. I can't remember the exact name. Um, but yeah, uh, that's where I kind of got it from the alts, and I think I think it would benefit. I think the classes would benefit with like a kind of like an Uber move or something to help farm or whatever, right? For those
Well,
long raids.
I I really liked the the two because a lot of and last episode we were talking about Lost Ark, and the class that I was referring to was the Death Blade. That's what it was called with the
Oh,
tweet. Yes.
Deathblade, yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
the Death.
Wild Soul is what it's called.
Oh, nice. So the Death Blade not only has like an identity, or the Paladin has two identity skills, but there's like ultimate skills and then there's identity skills, right?
Yeah.
I think Ashes should just completely rip that off and take it for
Oh,
themselves.
totally.
Because that's a
Completely.
really fun way to provide an identity, unintended or
To a class.
alliteration intended, yeah, to a class, and it makes it
Yeah.
more fun. The identity resources to me are simply like just math problems. Not math problems, but they seem very like numbers on paper type thing. There's no like I've been playing a lot of fighter, but not really. I've been crafting a lot with the fighter, I should say, and the momentum seems like a total afterthought to what the class is, and it's not like the identity of it. But we're not here to talk about the fighter. We're here to talk about skills and the previous a few weeks ago developer update. Hi, and in this week in Hikey Loki Noki, we're going to just sum up and review the developer update because it was it was nice but disappointing at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you wanna go?
Oh, Hikey? Oh, sure. No, you go. You go.
Okay.
Uh,
So there's to me there's three big things that they showed, uh, demonstrated I should say. No, showed the naval combat, the expansion of the world map to the southwest part of the map. Forget what I forget
oh, yeah.
what biome it's going to be. And
The
the
tropics, maybe?
rogue, the rogue is was obviously the big one, right? But with the rogue came the twin daggers. So
Yeah.
I'll put that into its own category. So I was obviously we were high key. I'm gonna say I was low key excited for the rogue because it's not that even though we've been complaining about it the entire time, it's not that I was excited for when the rogue came out. It's that I was disappointed that the timeline wasn't hit, which is
Oh, completely.
yeah, which is a bit different. I am high key excited for naval combat because that's kind of like our whole shtick
Yeah.
is to be the shipwrights of the high seas. And then I'm no key excited for a new expansion because it's just like I barely explore the Riverlands as is. The
Yeah.
ex- I I haven't touched the desert since the
Since
new
it came out.
reset. Well, I went into a few times when prior to the reset, but since the reset, I
I
haven't.
walked over there. That's
Yeah,
about it.
I haven't done anything in there of substance. Like I haven't done any of the quests or anything, or I shouldn't say quests, like grinding or anything. Or everyone's riding on scorpions, tiny scorpions. I haven't done any of that. So adding more of something that I won't probably go to unless it's like. And I've never been a desert biome fan, even in Black Desert Online. I didn't go into the desert a lot or at all really. Uh, so if there's if there's a new node that piques my interest, maybe I'll go into the new biome. But for now, it's just more of a map that I need to explore, which
Yeah.
it already takes long
Well,
enough to get over this fucking thing.
yeah, I'm so excited to take 4 days just to get from one place
Yeah.
to another.
Yeah.
So happy. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I was high key excited about the Rogue because just of the hype about it. I was low key excited about the naval combat because as soon as I saw the ships that the fucking flags were moving, I my emotion tanked.
Oh yeah, they were just
uh,
like
if a what?
that's what they were like, the flags and
Oh yeah, just
the,
flat,
s-
just
the
flat
sails.
sails. That's what it is. The
And it's
sails.
so funny
The
because
fuck.
you would think they could just input their cape physics onto the flags and stuff, but
Yeah, leaves move, Adam. The grass moves, but the damn goddamn sails is a board. 2x4 there. Um, yeah. That was I was kind of I was that's kind of where I would put it. And then no key excited for like same thing like the extra biomes. I am a little bit excited that you can go all the way around the map to the desert now with your boat once that comes
Oh
out.
yeah, that's right. I completely ignored that. Totally
Yeah, that's
forgot.
the only thing that I'm kind of excited about, and then maybe we can actually start a little fewer actual start making the ships
Yeah,
and
because
making our own port. So
yeah, the ports are going to be something too. But I was really thinking about this, I, maybe this morning or yesterday morning, like because you see a bunch of guilds being like, "Oh, we are PvP people, blah blah blah," but there's no real like, in my opinion, for this game, you need to be goal orientated. So you need to have like a specific goal in mind. Do you want to
yeah,
do you want to raid? Do you want to craft? And then within that crafting sphere or within that raiding sphere, what's your goal in that? So that's how specific your goal is. Where most MMOs, it's like, oh, I want to be the best PvP. If let's say your pipe dream is best PvPer, okay, so you do arena, you do open world, you do all the PvP. But in this
yeah,
game, you gotta like, oh, I want to be not only the best crafter, but
you gotta
specifically the best
pick what kind of
weaponsmith.
crafter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of guilds that say, "Oh, we're blah blah blah. We do this, we do this, we do this," but there's no specific. I haven't seen a specific guild that say we want to make ships. I haven't seen a guild that advertises itself like a company. I should say, which
Yeah.
good and bad, but I haven't seen a guild that say we specifically want to do this.
Oh,
This is our goal.
speaking of materials, I was playing the Rogue last night. I was like, ah, cool, Ruby. There's two Ruby patches. They look good. I'm like, screw it. I'll just nail. First one, legendary. Go to the next one, legendary. I instantly got 10 legendary rubies with the first two shots of my ruby. I was
Yeah,
like, all right, sure,
yeah.
guys.
I guess, I guess, I guess part of there's the other big thing about the update. I mean, the developer update about resetting the crafting. I have
Yeah,
definitely not minerals, but metals and stone has definitely the average rarity that I get has gone up. I also have like an epic journeyman pickaxe, so and it's epic, and I literally needed like two more boards to make it legendary. But that's a whole different discussion because it had legendary
yeah,
everything else. Um, so it's at the upper echelon of epic, and then I have all the journeyman mining stuff. So, but I've noticed that just in general, the
yeah.
legendary hits have been higher. Lumber, I haven't seen that same transition. I'm still getting. I don't think I've hit anything above a heroic oak. No, yeah, heroic oak, and since this reset,
Oh, okay.
and I'm level 20 in lumber.
So yeah, that time there should be a cap where you don't get it commons anymore.
If
Like
you're
at 10, like you should not get commons, and then at 20, maybe you don't get the blue, the uncommons, and then
The
you only
green,
get the
yeah.
three,
But then you can
or you
just
get the
mine.
four.
Then you can just mine all the oak and then flood the market with insane
Yeah,
shit.
go for it. Keeps the
We'll
prices down.
we'll talk. That's fair enough. We'll talk about it's more next episode because that's the episode that I like to talk about. But we're talking about the rogue. So that was Haiki Loki Noki. Now it's our forgotten segment. We back with feedback because this
Oh
is
yes.
we have feedback this time. So I'm just going to make sure that the slides are in the correct order. They are. This is our little. Oh no. Aha. I need to go to this one. Haha. Okay. Slides are there. And you should see the
Oh,
mouse.
oh yeah. We're good.
Okay. So this is our little tier list.
Oh, look at that.
This is a little tier list. And then on below us, we have the skills uh, that we're going to tier. Because it doesn't matter what you say, the weapon combat is one thing, but every archetype is defined by their skills, right? So we're gonna
Oh yeah.
instead of ranking each archetype individually. Oh, I still raise my up or even zoom out a bit. Half of it, whatever. Instead of ranking each archetype individually, we are just going to go through the skills, and then hopefully by the reset, which is in end of May, we would have gone through at least most of the archetypes. So we're going to do this every once in a while, specifically when a new archetype comes up or a new arc or when new stuff comes in. But this is going to be our tier list. So the first skill, let's go to the first skill is acrobatic strike, and I'll just read it out. Quickly strike your target 3 times for physical damage while flipping to the other side of them, putting your target off balance. If your target is facing you upon activation, gain advantage. That is. Oh, I can do this. So it's. Guess that's there. That is this skill.
Yeah.
Where are we putting it?
S tier. I love this skill so much. It
S
feels so
tier.
good.
It's perfect. Hey?
It's perfect. It it's the archetype, and plus it also stuns the enemy too. If it or it doesn't stun it, like makes them stagger or whatever, and keeps them in place. And the animation of the guy flipping is very. It's a little glitchy right now, but
It's
I
pretty
mean they
smooth.
can fix that up. Yeah.
I didn't. I haven't. By the way, we haven't used all these skills. Oh, and I should go through the tier ranks. Oh, my camera keeps. Uh, hmm. Yeah, every time I go to the PowerPoint, it. Anyways, I'll just keep flipping back and forth. But we haven't used all these skills, and I should go through the ranks really quickly, just like the how we set it up. But they're kind of descripted on the side. S is perfect. Great for testing. A is great for testing, so great for this phase, and it's a clear, good base skill for augmentations. B is alpha acceptable, so it obviously needs work, but you should see we are hope to see improvements into beta. And then C is a redesign, and then F is not it. Just not it. And I think there's one skill specifically that I'm going to put in F, and I don't think there's any other skill that I would put in F. But I agree with the acrobatic. Next up, uh, adrenaline. Gain adrenaline usable without breaking stealth. So, and then adrenaline is just like a movement speed thing, I believe. And that is this one. So, where are we going with this one?
It's acceptable. I like B.
It's
I think
acceptable.
it could just be like a little extra subtitle in your, like a little extra thing in your, when you go into stealth. I don't think it needs to be an extra passive.
That's fair. I'm going to fix this so the cameras. Ah, yeah, fixing on the fly. On the fly tech by yours truly.
Dang.
Uh, I
Look
know,
at that logo in the background.
I know. It's probably like the my second best logo I've done, even though I didn't do much to it. But there we are. Aha. So now if I go to this, the camera should still work. Okay.
Look at
Uh,
that.
I agree. I haven't used it, but seeing the description, I think, yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool that you can get a movement speed buff during stealth, because typically, or adrenaline, or a buff at all during stealth, because typically stealth asks you to take
Is
a penalty, usually like slows you down, and Ion it made you almost fucking stop. But yeah, I don't mind.
so like B minus then.
Yeah, it's gonna be at the end of B, but we haven't filled in our thing
Yeah.
yet. Next one. Backstab. Stab your target in the back, dealing pierce damage. Requires being behind your target, consume advantage to deal X damage, pierce damage. This is actually the alternate activation to stab, which is it's the assassin's main skill. It's the stab skill. So
Yeah.
this is actually two skills in one. I think this is an A. As it stands right
I
now,
give it an A, A plus for sure.
A plus. I think it's where you want every skill to be. It's a really good skill.
Yeah.
You can obviously see a lot of augmentation options for it, especially if you go down the mage route or the bard route, uh, or mage or like ranger route. Stabs apply your mark, stabs apply your element, blah blah blah. Right? There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
So now this one I haven't used, but I've seen caltrops. Caltrops. Throw out a
Yeah.
field of caltrops at the target location. Enemies that move through this field will rapidly take whatever pierce damage, become snared, and have chance to be dismounted. Last 10 seconds. Now, there's a layered question to this skill. How much of mischievery should the base rogue have in comparison to the augmentation of uh, let's say the trickster, or let's say um or like another, like the trickster is a good one, or like the charlatan.
Like comparatively, I
Yeah,
don't mind this. I don't mind like having one. This is not a terrible one. I mean, I don't know who's gonna be mounted during PvP, but then
but
again, you can stealth and throw
well,
it down.
there's gonna be those siege mounts, but right, like they teased. Well, on the wiki, there's a picture of the rhino that you can, the giant
Oh
rhino
right,
that the summoners can make. Oh, that's this
yeah,
caltrops. Uh, I think it is not. I think it's a B, but I actually think it's behind adrenaline.
oh okay, yeah.
Because
I don't. I was thinking C because right now, if you're just doing, maybe if you're doing like hordes of things, like if you're pulling a lot of things, it would help. But even still,
And we're not necessarily ranking it on the strength of the skill. We're just ranking it on the foundational design of the skill with the rogue.
Yeah.
And I guess in a sense that if any archetype was going to have a trap like skill like this, it would be the rogue. But I honestly think this is a better ranger skill than it is a rogue.
Oh, definitely.
So maybe in that sense it's a C. You know what? I'll go top of C because I feel traps and stuff should be in the ranger. So the rogue ranger would, I forget what it's called. The
Definitely
fucking,
have that.
yeah, it should definitely have this, like the hunter or is it predator? It's either hunter or predator.
Yeah.
Definitely have that. Next up, we got Death's Mark. This is one of the last skills you unlock. Your target is afflicted with Death's Mark. Killing your marked target will reset the cooldown and heal you for 50% of your health, and your target max health, blah, blah, blah. Whichever is left. Death's Mark is only usable while stealth and has a minimum range of 15 meters. This is a really cool skill. I put this in S.
Yeah. A plus S.
Let's go A plus because
Yeah.
I haven't used. I don't know how buggy it is. I've only seen it,
Yeah.
so
I only say A plus because it you have to kill the you have to kill your thing, so it's really good for mobbing
but
if you
it's
need
we're
like
not going on strength. We're going on
yeah. Oh yeah, we're
uh
just going on just base
vibes essentially.
vibes. I give it an A plus.
Okay.
A plus or S. It's pretty close.
A plus. There's no A plus. It's SABC.
So it's A then,
A.
sir.
Okay. Uh, next one. Double strike. Strike again with the last used melee ability from this list. Stab, lacerate, or thump. Uh,
B.
F. No, I think like C. I think the
I
skill
would go with
is
C.
I think the skill is so
I
useless.
think I think a
I'd
lot
trash
of
it.
classes have it.
What do you mean?
Because I know the Rangers has that. And it's got a similar ability. Like you can use the last ability, and I think the Mage has a similar ability too.
I don't. Uh,
It's
no.
got like a reset, like a cooldown reset thing.
Well, cooldown reset and this are two completely different things. This is like
No, not
you use one and then this cooldown uses the previous thing,
yeah,
right? I think the one you're thinking of for the Ranger is Lightning Reload,
yeah.
where it reload like resets the cooldown of three skills, right?
Well, it resets. It resets all your skills, so you can click any one of them,
Yeah.
and then they whatever you don't use, the timer still like continues. It just resets that one, which is nice.
I just think they're using
But yeah,
a skill slot for something that doesn't need to be there. For example, just give it a lightning reload effect. And since you
yeah,
already have a lightning reload effect, don't even put it in the alpha. Just keep it like later on. It's okay if two archetypes have the same effect as long as
yeah,
the results are different, I guess. But
yeah.
I think this is trash. This is one of this after I was going this is the second, I guess, trash skill. I just think it's not. I just don't think it works with the rogue.
Hey, fair enough. You
Because
say what you
and
want.
also because of I want to do these skills together because I think they're really cool. Flurry and what's the other? Flurry and Flash. Flurry and Thrash, I should say. Flurry is quickly strike your target, which is this one. Quickly strike your target twice for damage. Gain Flurry. Weapon combo finishers grant a chance of Flurry. Flurry does not interrupt your weapon combo. Uh, and then Thrash, which is this one. is deal physical damage to your target. The ability can be activated up to two more times in a short time frame for increased damage. However, you must activate another ability before it can be recast. The third and final strike will apply bleeding to your target, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, these two skills have charges on them per se.
Yeah.
And you use
Uh,
one and then it resets the other.
yeah. Honestly, I like them both to be S. They're pretty good.
I think so too. And though these two skills are the reason why the the reset skill or the duplicate skill is not it. It's because they
Yeah.
could just repeated the same mechanic on a
With some other.
with something else, which could have been this skill swap, but no, they it feels like a
Yeah.
cop out, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
That's fine.
lacerate
Yeah.
and thrash go to. Is it lacerate? No, it's flurry and thrash go to. Yes. Uh, and grappling hook.
S.
I
It's
haven't seen
awesome.
it.
It's so awesome.
Have you used it?
It. Oh yeah, I used it a little bit. It's awesome. Like you
Okay.
could just like climb up and scale buildings. Like it's awesome.
Oh, you can use it on
Like I
anything.
wish. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
you
that's
can
pretty cool.
scale mountains
That's pretty
and you
cool.
can protect yourself from fall damage. Like I jumped from a really high height and then I just like hooked right beside me, and then it like notifies the fall damage, like depending how
Oh.
close you are to the ground,
Hmm.
or so it just does that. Like if you're like 2 feet away from the ground, you're not gonna get any fall damage.
Hmm. That's interesting. I
It's
didn't know
awesome.
it. I didn't know it hooks onto anything.
It's so overpowered. It should not be in this game. Because you're
Okay.
just gonna get a bunch of rogues. All right, everybody in the building, let's go.
Now we have our favorite our favorite skill, kick.
Oh,
It's
S for sure.
there's no way this is S.
No, it's
I hate
dumb.
this
Put it in F completely.
where it belongs.
Yeah. Like I know
Okay.
the kick does like
It's
doesn't it
supposed to
like
like
give you a little push you back too?
well, it reads deal bludgeoning damage and applies trips. So it just trips the target, consumes advantage to instead hit all targets within melee range and apply trips for 1 second. So it's either
Yeah.
you you kick the target and trip them, which sets up the fighter really well because the fighter has a lot of if they're well not a lot but a few if they're tripped do X more damage.
Do more damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a CC skill, but I feel like this if they were going to give this a CC skill, they could have made it cooler instead of just kicking your target.
Well,
Like,
stick with the bleeds and stick with the staggers. Don't
yeah,
right?
bleeds and wounds. Yeah.
And poisons and right. It'd be
So
nice
that's
to see what kind of if you are moving into a different class, what that would change into. Maybe that would help it out. But other than that, it's
what's gonna
F.
change for the elementalist. Enlighten me. Or not the elementalist, the mage. What's kick gonna change for the mage? Astral foot?
Yeah, you gotta like a lightning kick.
Lightning kick. Fire kick.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
No, you can just do fire anything else. Fire
Yeah,
punch. What's the fighter? What's it going to augment to for the fighter?
it's the Sparta kick. It pushes him instead.
Into a hole. Yeah.
Yeah, the random hole appears
Yeah, it
behind
creates a hole behind target.
him.
Lacerates. So it reads for people that don't know, deal physical damage and apply bleed. If the target's bleeding already, it applies hemorrhage, consumes advantage to instead hit all targets in a frontal melee range for blah blah blah. So advantage
A.
has A. I think it's a B, just because it's
I would give it a
acceptable.
B.
It's acceptable for testing. I think it's a little clunky. That's all.
Yeah.
We have a lot of skills, so we're not going to go into too much detail on each one. And then the poison. So on your skill tree, there's a certain amount of poisons. So we're just grouping all the poisons into one. Uh, I haven't used the poisons or anything, but I've seen them,
Mm.
and they
It's a
feel they
B.
feel fine. I think the poison
Yeah.
variations are kind of lackluster, but I like the fact
Yeah.
that there are poison variations. Like there's the wound poison or whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
but the poison essentially just laces your daggers and you apply it, right?
I don't
So
mind it. Like it's a good rogue. It's acceptable, right? It's a
yeah.
good rogue type thing.
Uh, the next one is sap. So sap is I don't need this anymore, which is nice. Sap is stab your target with a draining dagger that deals physical damage and applies sap. That target has 10 stacks of your poison, gain advantage.
A.
This is B?
I'd say A. It's great. Like it's a good way. It's a good easy way to get advantage, and it
Yeah.
also helps with your bleed or your. It also
But how well
works
does
with
it
all
fit
your
into the
bleed
rogue?
effects.
How well does it fit into the rogue archetype? That's what we're
6 out of
really.
10.
So is that an A?
6 out of 10. 7 out of 10.
If it's a
I'd say
6, is it
seven
an
out of
A?
ten. Maybe not. Maybe it is acceptable. I switched to B. I say B. You changed my mind.
Because because this reads to me like a fighter skill. Like you, there's not a lot of rogue to it, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, because the fighter has a lot of uh like they has two on the first tree, two on the first tree, one on the first tree, bare minimums, and another on the second tree, where it's like if you hit one of them is if you use combat momentum to cast this, gain HP, and the other ones if you overkill them, gain HP. And then they have another one on
Yeah.
the top tree, it's gain HP. So all these like gain HP during combat effects is right up in fighter territory and should just stay in fighter territory. This is a great augment skill for when you augment
Yeah.
stab in with the fighter. But anyways, uh Shadow Cascade. Ooh, fancy.
Ooh.
Deal dash 20 meters forward through your enemies after a short delay. Deals deals Shadow Cascade to each target hit. Increase based on the amount of missing health on the target. All targets hit suffer bleed. Targets that are poisoned become exposed. Targets below 50% health suffer hemorrhage. Requires and consumes advantage. So this is the finishing skill where and to visualize it for those that haven't seen it, or I guess this doesn't analogy doesn't help if you haven't played Lost Ark, but the Reaper class in Lost Ark has a shadow dash ability where it dashes through enemies and then a bunch of shadows like climb in on it. Essentially that.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it. I've seen it. I haven't used it, but I've seen it. It looks pretty good.
It looks really
I'll
cool.
give.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a cool ultimate kind of esque skill, ultimate skill.
Yeah. I'll give it A plus or an S. I would just throw it even up at in the S.
Pick one. I'm saying A.
S. A
Okay, we'll
plus it
go.
is then.
No, where do you see the A plus category?
Just A.
You have
Just A.
commitment issues. This is what we're finding
I
out.
do.
It's either
I
A
do.
plus or S. Well, pick one. Uh,
That's why we can't pick a day to do this podcast.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, tomorrow I'm playing lacrosse all day, mostly for fucking England, the
For
England
the
national
England.
team. Uh, shadows. The next skill, shadow step. This is teleport behind your target. If used on an enemy that is more than 15 meters away, gain advantage. Gain advantage. So that's this one. Um, Pretty simple. I say it's a B. It's exactly what you need. Uh, that just teleporting in general is super buggy. So
Yeah, I'd say B. Yeah.
no complaints there. Shuriken. Throw a shuriken at your target, deal whatever bounces up to four nearby enemies, dealing lesser damage each bounce. Each hit applies, and any current active poison otherwise applies pierce damage. Otherwise, pierce damage is for more, I should say. Uh, that is obviously the shuriken icon. I don't know.
I haven't. I've only kind of seen it. I would say it's a C. Like it's not. It's not very flashy. I like the dagger a lot. I like the bouncing dagger way more than the shuriken.
Mm, But do you think it needs a redesign, or do you think it's just like alpha acceptable?
I think it can be buffed. I think it's like too close to being
So,
with the dagger. Like
okay, so we'll just go to the throw dagger one. So you're saying it's too
yeah,
close to this one, so it should be remade.
yeah,
Yeah, I think so too. I think the shuriken can be an augmentation of the dagger, the throw dagger, and it will
yeah,
have the same effect, right?
yeah. Definitely. That's way better. I definitely put the dagger with A though. I love the daggers.
Yes.
It's sweet.
It feels nice too.
Yeah.
It They did a lot of good stuff on the dagger. I think it's A2. And it's a great augment. See, this I can see being augmented with
With
everything,
anything.
right? Like imagine a heal
Yeah.
dagger. It would be hilarious to throw a fucking dagger at your teammate for health.
Yeah. Well, even if it like bounced at a bounced at an enemy, then your guy, then the enemy again. Like it does the three bounces or four bounces. It
Oh,
like
like
will go to an ally and heal. That'd be awesome. But maybe it won't be a dagger. Maybe it's like a I don't know,
an
like a
astral dagger,
bunny
like a
rabbit
dagger
or
like
something.
object.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Or
sense. But
even
the
just like a ball of energy that like switches colors
yeah.
every time.
So then next we should do we'll get all the there's like a sub theme of tools going on. We'll just do all the tools. Sleep darts. Uh, I've seen videos of this. This shit's cracked.
Yeah,
This needs a
it's
redesign.
S. It's
It's
S
S
for power,
power,
but it needs
S
a
C
redesign.
for right now.
Yeah,
And averaging
it's
that out is,
cracked.
I guess it's a B.
Yeah, but I would still say it's a redesign. It's too powerful for what it's doing.
And it simply reads just like put somebody to sleep. Shoot a sleep dart at target enemy
Yeah,
that applies physical damage, minimum range of 8. But it puts people to sleep. And the thing about sleep and CC, I think that's should be more towards the bard end. So a lot of these base skills seem to me like they're future augments, right?
yeah, a little bit. It would have been better if this was like a slow dart, and you gain advantage, like if you hit him in the back or something,
Or a poison dart that would be
or
more
a
aligned with
poison dart.
the with
Yeah,
the archetype.
yeah, it would have worked way better.
So
Like
yeah,
same with the bomb. Like it's I feel like the bomb seems more of like a B because that's more of like a roguey thing.
yeah. Throw this.
Um,
So this is throw smoke bomb. While you gain blurred, so enemies within periodic periodically afflicted with blur. Smoke bomb also uh also grants the wiki is written very importantly. It's a very typical throw smoke bomb of try to avoid your enemies. So I think it's B. It does what it needs to do as well. But
I
I
think
think
it could. I think if it's activating blur, I think you should be able to go into stealth after blur after that.
Yeah, and that's why it's
but
alpha
that's
acceptable, right? That's just like
yeah,
an add-on. As like the skill's not awful.
perfect. No, it needs a little buff. I think.
Yeah, I just need some I think it needs some interactions with stealth, and that'll be a cool thing to test for beta.
Yeah,
But anyways, what's the next skill that we have? Let's do stab. I guess this is the same as backstab, which is where is it? A, so we'll just put it in A. We'll put it right
yeah,
beside each other. I was gonna
agreed.
try to do this on tier list, like the tierlist.com, but I was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make it complicated. And
Yeah,
then
it's better this way.
we're gonna do Umbral Cloak. I I personally haven't seen. Maybe I have seen it, but I didn't know if it was Umbral Cloak or something. Uh, but this is a stealth mechanic whilst in combat. So you stealth without the the drawbacks of casting stealth, right?
Yeah, it, it was kind of like I said. I think it's an A or no. I'd say it's a B.
you think it's alpha acceptable?
Yeah, I think it would be because it does work with your stealth and it helps. I think the smoke grenade would have having that effect as well would be sweet. Um, just because when I was playing with the rogue, you just don't get enough advantage sometimes. It feels like you're trying to balance it, or you're kind of waiting for your next skill to to get advantage. I think a little more skills to help with that would be helpful.
Yeah. It doesn't say on the wiki if you gain advantage. Oh yeah, consumes advantage. Yeah, that's what I think. I think
Yeah,
there's a lot more skills that consume advantage than there's that that give
yeah, that
advantage,
gain it. Yeah,
which is funny.
and yeah, I know they're trying to oh, it's got to do the one good hit. It's like, well,
Yeah,
I want to just cycle through my things.
yeah. Like I want to use all parts of my skill, right?
Yeah,
Now we're going to go with the aptly named Thump deal that does bludgeoning damage. Apply daze and apply silence for 1 second. If you have advantage, instead apply silence for 4 seconds. So this doesn't say consume advantage on the wiki. It says if you have advantage. So I guess this is like
oh,
if you have advantage, you're passively buffed. But Thump, weird icon
yeah.
for it.
See,
I think so too. It's not as bad as Kick, but the rogue needs some sort of CC,
yeah,
and as long as he's using his weapon to do it, I think it's okay,
yeah,
right? But obviously, I think that it's just not. It's just like we've been saying for the last few months. It just doesn't have that bazinga, the pow factor.
yeah.
And then
It would have been more better if they just call it the nut cracker, and then just the animation is kicking him in the nuts. At least give it some flair.
and then this is faint. So I accidentally closed the tooltip on this one, but it is you teleport behind your target, and I think you deal damage.
Yeah,
Or is this the
that's
one
an
that
eight. I like it.
is this the one that you backflip away?
Is this the backflip or is this the charge?
I think this is
Either
a
way,
no, because there's one that you move away from your target. I'm just gonna pull up the tooltip. I accidentally closed it, so not that one.
I thought this one was the charge.
The charge.
Like, no, this is the one that backs away.
Yeah. Dash behind your target with a fainting strike. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the one that goes behind your target. This is the
yeah,
one
this
that
one's a.
it's a little buggy, and this is the perfect rogue skill. Ooh, wrong
Yeah,
item. This is the perfect rogue skill. It's puts you behind your enemy, and one of the things that we haven't talked about enough anyway is that the rogue is the only class that deals with directional combats, so or positional combat, I should say.
Yeah.
And it's a very interesting take on, well, not a take, it's a very interesting idea for an MMO because not a lot of MMOs seem to be doing this. Lost Ark does it for every class, like you get more on back,
Yeah.
but
There's like
for
front, side, and back.
yeah, but for specific classes, that's where it kind of levels
Yeah.
out. And then last but not least, the bread and butter of this class, and probably the reason why it's been delayed for so long, stealth.
It's not bad. It's
It's
not
not the
terrible. Like we've only just touched the iceberg. Like there's not a lot of PvP stuff that you could
yeah,
do with it yet. Um, I'd give it a B. It's acceptable.
alpha acceptable. I think there's obviously there's going to be a lot of networking problems with it, with their networking grid or whatever that they have to figure out. But out of all this, there's this like stereotype that rogues all the stealth skills need to be, or they always need a stealth skill, and I just don't believe that for a moment. I think they're nice to have, but in reality, if you just blow someone up by teleporting behind them, you don't
Yeah, if you
really
just
need to.
kill them,
Yeah,
it's a different kind of
why do you
stealth.
even hide? But I think they're more looking into the future with this, with stealth, with their, you know, espionage stuff, with their stealing, with all the layers that are to this game, where stealth will take it, have its moment to shine, and that we
Yeah.
just haven't seen. So this is our ranking with the skills. Uh, and honestly, actually, what are your thoughts with the rogue? You probably had more, not more time, but you probably tested more of the skills than I did.
Yeah. I was kind of a little upset about the stealth. I did see someone die. I was like, hmm. So I went stealth, and then when you try to like search the body, you actually come out of stealth, which was kind of disappointing. Because
Yeah, it
that
gets
was kind of the
cast.
whole point.
Yeah, I was about to say that's kind of the whole point of having stealth.
Way to fucking stealth. Like you go in and you're like, oh, I got something. As soon as you grab something out of the pouch, you become unstealth. So then you get the bar. You're like, oh, he's here. Like,
Yeah,
well, I didn't really attack, but other than that, I've been liking it. It's a 7 out of 10. I would give it. Like,
but I guess it's
I've
I
been
guess it's weird because you can see. Can you see friendly like if we were playing together
friendlies.
and you were a rogue and you weren't in my party and you stealth, can I see you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so you're stealth to everybody?
Yeah, you're stealth to everybody.
Hmm.
So that's why I was like, as soon as you pickpocket them, it's like, oh, you're flagged. And now maybe I did put a bug request in when I did notice that. It's like when I was stealing someone's stuff, I became
On stealth.
unstealthed
Yeah.
after this happened.
They must have thought of that. And this
They
must that
yeah
must have been a deliberate thing that they haven't put in. But
yeah
I but if they really want to nail this identity or the class identities, I think that is a must to put in.
yeah for sure, for 100%. Like especially during like a PvP thing where it's gonna be a bunch of people dying left, right, and center. Like you want a rogue to be able to like maybe just have one guy looting shit. Like
Yeah. And saving your own stuff too,
yeah, and
right?
saving your own stuff even. That's
Actually
even
there
better.
there's a PV tournament going on right now actually. Or happened at 4 o'clock today on the EU server. I don't know, some guild was setting up like an 8v8 tournament
Oh,
thing.
that's
I
kind of
don't
cool.
I don't know how many people they got, but I saw it in all chat this morning. Um, my overall so there's kind of two. They've always been stressing these like 2 points of the rogue archetype. There's the combat aspect of it, and then there's the utility aspect of it. I guess every class can has this. So what do you think? We talked about the utility side, the stealth, or as much utility. Obviously, they say that the rogue can find trapdoors, this and that, the other with the raids. They can steal better, blah blah blah, all that. That's all utility stuff. So how about the
Yeah.
combat? How do you feel about the combat in comparison to probably the next closest class to the rogue, the ranger?
Uh, if it feels like the ranger could just put daggers in their hands and have the same skills, and you would get the rogue. You know what I mean? It's not like it's very far from the rogue.
Yeah,
It's like the rogue is like the melee version of the ranger, and the ranger or the rogue's the melee version of the ranger. It kind of
yeah, and
like
the
it's
ranger is the ranged version of the rogue.
yeah, it's like the same coin basically, kind of different face. Uh, but other than that, I really like the ranger. I'm kind of liking the rogue a little more. Like me, I'm more of the tanker or the healer kind of. I'm either the tank healer or I'm the
Well,
guy with
it's
the bow.
it's it's the new shiny
So
toy right now, right? So
yeah,
it's hard not to say like, oh, I
I'm
like
real.
it more.
It's yeah, it's still the honeymoon phase right now. So
Yeah.
like
And,
when we next time show up when I'm level 15, probably I'll have a better idea.
and if we were for myself, if we were to create a Venn diagram of classes, or not Venn diagram, but like when you see like anime characters, and then it's like strength, intelligence, all that stuff.
Oh
That like
yeah,
that
the
diagram or whatever, and then it's like all the way here. If you put like swordsman and mage right beside each other, I would be on like that end. I mean, either a mage
yeah
or like a light armor swordsman in most of the games I
yeah.
play. So rogue is probably somewhere over here, but the combat side of the rogue feels, with all the blinking and stuff, feels pretty weird right now, just from because I don't know if you play in tab or action combat.
Both.
Oh yeah, I play in action combat, and trying to turn the character doesn't, when you blink and stuff, your character doesn't turn around, so you can't use your like backstab skill, or you can't
Oh,
use your skill or whatever. So, but like when you use feint and then you try to use stab that turns into backstab, you'll miss
because
because
you're facing the other
the other
way.
way, but your feint damage goes off. So I would like them for there to be a little camera buffer or a model buffer in between going behind
Yeah.
somebody when you turn animation. Because I get like you would want to use feint and then run the other direction. I mean that's
Away.
a when I don't know if I mean I've been in the League of Legends mine for all day, I think. I haven't been
Same.
playing all day. I've just been thinking about it all day. But the old Talon used to blink behind somebody, and sometimes you would blink behind somebody and then ult and run away, right? So I get in
Yeah.
that instance you would want to run away. There's a lot of times where I'm like fighting a fucking wolf or something. I try to feint behind it, and I just miss all my damage.
Yeah. You're like, oh shit.
Shit. And then the other uh it's not much longer in the stream, but on the other side of it, how much range skills do you think the ranger should have? Because in Guild Wars 2, or not the ranger, the rogue should have. Because in Guild Wars 2, the thief, I mean, a lot of the classes can go melee in range, but the thief, a lot of the classes have a very big part of the class is the short bow, the pistol, the rifle.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
think they
that's
use the
right.
longbow, right? But
No.
and one of the more impactful weapons is the longbow. But if you're a rogue, not the longbow, the short bow, if you're a rogue, I would think you should be the rogue and the short bow kind of just fit together, in my opinion,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it definitely does. Um. So what's your total? What's your question? Sorry.
My question is
Like,
how many, or not, you don't have to give me a
oh,
number. How many range skills should the current rogue have? You don't have to give me a specific number. You can just
I like
say
say
of
like 15% of like the total class, like total skills. Like
yeah,
if because they seem to be like really heavily focused on the double daggers, and I think having like some initiating skill other than your teleport skill would be kind of nice.
right.
But other than that, not much more than that, I would think. Because, like, a lot of it's like you want to hit him in the back. You want to get that backstab. You want to get that bonus damage, that bonus crit damage, right?
Right.
So either 15 or less. I don't think it needs a lot.
So do you think rogue should have range skills at all?
Yeah, I like the sleep dart, like the like the sorry, not the sleep dart, like having it as a poison dart would be sweet.
Or like tools
Um,
as they're ranged?
like yeah, just use more tools as a range than like an actual bow than
Yeah.
anything.
And I asked this because I was playing the fighter and I run the short bow and either the great sword or the one-handed sword with energy focus. And I am as a fighter, I am kind of missing range skills. Like I feel like the class is not fully there yet. Because just because it says fighter does not mean I have to specifically be a melee fighter, right?
Yeah,
Like in D&D, just be instead of being a ranger, just be a fighter with a bow. It's way better,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, so although that
But
they
that's
say
where
that,
like you can switch your weapon, but it doesn't matter because you can only auto attack with your other weapon.
right? And I don't have a range skill. Like for the fighter, I would love to have a skill like um
Like a
uh
cleave, like an air cleave.
yeah, something that I can use to hit somebody far away that's not my auto attack. Because the short bow,
Yeah,
it would be cool to have a skill like snipe, but not snipe, right? So
yeah,
and I get their concerns with it. I guess we can go back to um and I get their concerns with it because they don't want too much blending as their base classes. Because I'm sure the fighter and the ranger will have ranged skills, right?
yeah,
But it seems same thing with the mage. I would love melee esque skills. They have one. It's like the cone of cold or the frost hands. It's just the cone.
yeah.
Yeah, that's that's like technically that's melee E, but I would like a few more of those, especially for the mage, because I feel like the mage, if you look at other uh I intellectual properties, Fairy Tail is a good example of mages that kind of went out of the box of mages where they're punching each other, right?
Yeah.
There's just a lot of magic. Black Clover, naming enemies. There's just a lot of magic systems that show. Oh, there's a new webtoon, manhwa that I'm reading. It's called Infinite Mage. It's about math and magic. It's pretty cool. But he uses like the speed of light equations to punch people, which is pretty interesting. So
Oh,
there's that
that's
kind of
cool.
stuff too. So there's, I guess I'm just missing like the melee, even though Intrepid says that each class can use its own weapon. I'm not seeing that yet.
Yeah, its own dedicated weapon.
Well, each class can use every weapon, but it's not. It's like sure they can, but all I can. But is it really using the
No,
the weapon
all
if
you
it's
can do
all?
is auto.
Yeah,
Yeah, auto. Right.
and
No, I understand.
yeah,
No, I get it. Like it becomes where's the diversity in weapons now, right? It's the oh you have all these cool weapons, but you can only use two out of the eight. That makes sense.
yeah. It's fake. It's like fake diversity. What is
Yeah,
tokenism? I think yeah,
tokenism.
sure you can. I can use all 105 weapons, but in reality, I can only use
Two.
yeah two of them. The wand, the book.
The wand in the book.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're a spellcaster, you're you're stuck to the wand or the buck. If you're a fighter, you're great sword or short sword. Rogues, you're just committed to the double daggers right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Um,
the rogue could probably get away. Yeah, no, they can't because you would have to use an energy talisman with this short sword, and
yeah,
you attack too slow with the two-handed sword. So,
yeah, and none of your skills go with it.
did you try?
Yeah, of course I did.
Oh, I didn't try other weapons.
Yeah, I was trying other weapons, but it just switches you to the daggers.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really quite upsetting.
It seems weird that a melee skill, even if it says stab, like does it really matter what weapon I have to stab somebody?
It switches you to daggers.
Oh.
It like
Have you
that. You
tried
like
it with
one
the
handed.
scepter?
No,
Like,
I did the great sword,
I mean, the great sword's the only
the
one that,
long sword, the
yeah,
and the two bows, and then oh like and the wand because I found it or the book or whatever it was.
book. You're stabbing people with the book?
I try to like see if I can like backstab him with a book.
Yeah,
It'd be great. The book is
yeah.
my favorite thing.
So what if you don't have the other item in your inventory?
Oh, I don't know. That's actually kind of. I've never
You
tried
could,
that on any of the characters actually.
huh? Yeah, because I've always just had like all
A
the
bow
shitty
or
items
whatever.
or whatever, right?
Yeah, you've always just had the starting equipment.
Hmm, that's
Hmm.
interesting.
Well, I'm gonna try that. Anyway, that's for next stream.
Yeah. Uh, but then overall thoughts on, let's just talk about all the archetypes now because we have 7 out of 8. We're just missing one. If
Yeah.
so, let's look into the future of the summoner. If the summoner releases like the rogue, and using this tier list as an example, where would the summoner go?
Oh, out of all of them?
Yeah. So so would you rather have the summoner have a bard release or a rogue release? I guess is the because the bard was probably the best class they not only showcased,
Yeah.
it's the best design class by far
Yeah.
for appearance and theme wise. But the rogue is probably essential is more on the side of, oh, this is just like the tip of the iceberg to it. With the
This
bard,
is
you
a
kind of
roguey
see
rogue.
all the with the bard, you kind of see all the augments and stuff, right? That you can see in the
Yeah.
future. But the rogue's like, oh, mysterious.
Yeah. Uh I think it's gonna be like the rogue. I think it's gonna be like I don't think a lot of people uh like the summoning aspect of it. Um there's like a niche amount of people who like to do that. And depends on the summons. Like, if we're
Mm,
just gonna be able to summon like bears and whatever you kind of collect, like a skins, like all the skins, whatever, which was kind of interesting. It all depends on how the. Oh, there's a cat coming at my fleet. I was wondering. Um,
which
it all
cat?
depends on how the summons like work. Like, are you gonna be?
Yes.
Are you
Speaking of
only?
summons, lift her up.
Oh yeah.
Which one is it?
Simba.
Is it?
Aida.
Oh.
Aida. Um, it's one of those things where are you only going to be able to summon one? Are you going to be able to summon like six? Like that's going to be the big difference. Is like how many you can summon and what you can summon. But I think it's going to be like a rogue. There's only a niche people like this class, and it's not going to be like the bard.
I hate to break it to you, but the niche, there's no, the rogue probably is everyone's favorite class. It's not
Nah,
so
what are you
niche.
talking? What are you talking about? Everyone
I,
loves the wizard and the clerics.
I honestly see a lot of bards. I see a lot of bards.
I see a lot of bards
Um,
because they're really good.
don't see a lot of tanks. I should probably play the tank, but that is. probably it for the Rogue. I was I was gonna we were gonna do the segments next up, but uh I think the next live stream they don't. What would you? So yeah, fuck it. Why not? I mean, I'm just cooking and studying today. What do you want to see in the next live stream?
Uh, for sure, have sales moving. That
Updated
just pissed me
boats,
off.
updated
Please,
boats.
just move it. It's not that hard. Uh, Next update. I would like to see.
Not update, next live stream.
Oh, the live stream.
Yeah. What would you like to see
A little more
showcase?
naval. More of the naval stuff, like for docks and trade, and then um, what else was there? I think that was it. Like just the naval stuff is more I'm more interested in.
Hmm.
Um, and maybe like do like a level 25 showcase of the rogue of some
Fuck,
sort.
there was a rogue like 14 hours in my server. 14 hours and like
God damn.
I think like 35 minutes or
Oh
something.
yeah, you were
I don't
telling
know
me about
how
that.
how he did it. I couldn't make a rogue in that amount of time.
No, it took me longer to make the rogue.
But I I want to see weapon variation.
For
I want
sure.
to I want to actually start seeing. I think we've the information
Preached
that
it
they
enough.
yeah, we've tested the weapons that we have now enough. The short bow is ridiculously strong. It's probably the best weapon. Uh and there's still spears we haven't seen. We haven't seen two-handed axes. We haven't seen the battle axes.
Yeah,
Uh so I hope that they shed some light on
yeah,
the weapons. But that's been like an hour 15ish almost.
yeah. Hour 20.
No, hour 20 since we started streaming, since we've been talking because there was 5 minutes
Yes.
of just doing nothing.
Anyways,
Any last parting words?
uh, come join our guild. Come build
Yeah,
boats.
yeah, I forgot to mention that. I need a replacement. Who wants to be green? We,
Yeah, we need a replacement.
we need a green. Uh on the reset, we're probably gonna have a huge makeover. I've already showcased some of the stuff. But my parting words is go Blues. Hope they win 12 in a row and beat the Avs tonight. And take care.